What's going on, guys? John Elder here from CourseTherapy.com, and in this video, I want to talk about the Udemy Quality Checklist. All right, welcome to the Daily Udemy Income Report, the show where I talk about making money on Udemy, walk you through what's working for me, and teach you how to do the same thing. My name is John Elder from CourseTherapy.com, and today is Tuesday, February 12th, 2019. In today's episode, I want to talk about the Udemy Quality Checklist. There's a PDF guide that walks you through exactly what you have to do, the minimum requirements for your video, and that's what we're going to look at today. But before we get started, let's take a look at yesterday's numbers. So yesterday was Monday the 11th, 20 courses sold, a little bit better than we've seen at least over the weekend, $85.69, pretty good. That came to $4.28. Refunds stayed the same at $16.88. Reviews bopped up to 15. Now that's not necessarily true. You see the day before we had 0. There was just a fluke in the system at the time, and that hadn't updated. So I took the ones that were added from yesterday that hadn't shown up yesterday and that did show up overnight, added them into today's number, and it came to 15. We'll take a look at those in just a minute. So month to date, $567.86, 11 days in, not too bad for February. Courses sold, 116, pretty good. 63 reviews so far. Promotional activity stayed the same, $21.02. Haven't run any promos yet. Probably will pretty soon here. Within the next week or so. Total enrollments, 113,207, and my average rating stayed at 4.49. So taking a very quick look at my Udemy profile page, udemy.com/user/John Elder 3, we see 46,238 students and 2,612 total reviews. The thing we want to look at, though, is all of the badges that we had recently lost have continued to be lost. We haven't gained any back yet. So we'll keep an eye on that in the next few days and see how that goes. So very quickly, looking at the reviews for the last couple of days, we got 5 stars, 5 stars, 3.5 stars, not so good. 5 stars, a bit fast for me, but the topic is well explained. Cool. 3 stars, Brian is not happy. And let's see, what else? And then we go a couple pages in. 5 stars, 4.5 stars. This is the best class that I've taken on Django so far, and I highly recommend it. John is an engaging instructor, and the length of the course was perfect for me. The to-do list is a great app to introduce Django, way better than the horrible blog app that everyone else uses. The only reason why I didn't give John's course perfect scores because he codes super fast, and I constantly had to pause to catch up what he had coded. You can speed those down. I've said it a zillion times. I also didn't give him a perfect score because I would have liked a few slides or animations that explain some of the conceptual stuff behind Django. I have read book on programming Django and done a few Udemy course on Django, but it all didn't come together for me until I took this course. So stop reading this and buy the course. All right, nitpicky, but overall a very good review. 5 stars, 3.5 stars. Should have done a Mac installation. Now this course is marketed as a Windows course. The guy took the course and was like, I'm angry that you didn't talk about Mac. It's a Windows course. People are stupid. 5, easy to follow and very informative. 4.5, great step-by-step instruction, this far at least. Had to Google a bit since one of the steps didn't work, though otherwise fine. I don't know what that's all about. That is most certainly not true. But he gave a 4.5 stars, so whatever. 4.5, the last time I remember learning Python was way back in college, and the project that we made was a login file upload app. I've been looking on Udemy for a Python and Django course, and I noticed this chap has made a few courses on the subject, and I can understand everything that is being taught so far. Cool. Thank you, Jeremy. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. And is that about it? 4.5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 3.5. And I think that's about it. Okay, so pretty good reviews. You know, we've been lagging reviews for a while. It's just because the Udemy system was down for whatever reason. It says at the top of every one of these pages it could take up to 48 hours, and sometimes it just does take that long. So kind of weird, but whatever. So for the rest of this episode, I want to talk about the Udemy Course Quality Checklist. Now, this is a PDF. I'll link to it below, and you can download it and read it yourself. But this is the sort of bare minimum of what your course has to be from a quality standpoint as well as a content standpoint. So you can see this is actually very interesting, and a lot of people don't quite understand that this sort of thing exists. Because when you look at Udemy, you see these courses that have 40 hours of content, 60 hours of content. Even my courses only have 2 or 3 hours of content. And people think of them as a short course. But the actual minimum requirement is only 30 minutes of video content. So you can see if you want to just throw out a very bare bone course, it only has to be 30 minutes. And it has to have at least 5 separate lectures. So it only has to have 5 lectures and be 30 minutes long. So what is that? They have to be 6 minutes each if you only do 5 of them. If you do, 6 videos, then they obviously have to be 5 minutes each. If you do 30 videos, they have to be at least 1 minute each. It just has to add up to 30 minutes. So it has to have valuable educational content. This is subjective. Who knows what that means? It's just sort of thrown in there. Now, here's something else that's interesting. The HD video quality should be 720p or 1080p. I will recommend always that you make your videos in 1080p. And this is interesting because Udemy often doesn't play them in 1080p. Sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. They have this I don't know what it's called, but it's it tries to determine what your screen size is and it shows you the video based on that, but it doesn't work very well. So the default is usually 720p, which is not great. If you're still shooting in 720p, you're doing it wrong. You should be shooting in 1080p or editing in 1080p, saving your file as a 1080p file, whatever. And I think over time, this will get better. We've been complaining about this as instructors for quite a while, and Udemy has listened. They keep saying they're going to sort of change this and fix it, but for the moment, beginning of 2019, most video gets displayed at 720p. But forget about that. Always go at 1080p when you're recording, when you're editing, when you're everything, because eventually Udemy will fix this and catch up to the rest of the world, and all the video will be shown at 1080p. Their argument is they have a lot of students from other countries, and a lot of students in those other countries are on poor internet connections, or they're using a cell phone that's got a sketchy connection, and so they want to render video that is easily seen for those people. If you don't have a very good internet connection, it's gonna be hard for you to download and stream 1080p. If you do have a good internet connection, you won't even notice it. So that's their logic, I guess. That's what they've said to me. And so we'll just have to keep an eye on this. But you should definitely be recording and editing in 1080p. Also, it has to have an audio that comes out of both channels. What this means is if you put on headphones, you have to be able to hear the audio in both headphones. And you think, of course you would, but that's not necessarily true. If you buy a expensive microphone, out of the box, it will probably only record to one channel. And when you record it and when you play it back on your speakers, you won't notice. But if you put on headphones, you'll hear sound in only one ear. You go, uh-oh, that's weird. If you open it in audio editing software, you'll see 2 tracks of audio with the squiggly lines, the waveform of the audio. If it's only one track, it only has one track, and that'll export into one ear. So it's not a big deal if you don't have a super expensive microphone. The microphone I use that I've talked about in this show is expensive enough to where when I first bought it, it was only recording in one channel. And I actually did a whole course without realizing that and had to go back and redo it all over again. Or I think what I ended up doing is just fixing it in editing. I just cloned the channel twice, and that fixed it. But it's something you have to be aware of if you have a nicer mic. And it's just a matter of setting the settings when you're recording, so no big deal. Audio quality that is not distracting to students. I'm not sure what that means, but probably something like, you can see it has an asterisk next to it. Probably you don't want screaming kids in the background. You don't want a dump truck in the background, construction noise, stuff like that. It should be professional and high quality. So then it goes on and talks about a complete course landing page has a high quality course image. There's some rules for that, so you might want to click on this. It can't have text in it. It can't have, I think that's really the main rule. It can't have text. It should have a well-written course title and subtitle that includes relevant keywords. This is so important. Relevant keywords. And we've talked about this in the past. Go to the Marketplace Insights learn what the keywords are for your course, put them in the title and the description. It should have a brief, honest, well-written course description. We've talked about that. It has clear course goals, target audience, and requirements that are easily understood. Easy to understand. Typo there. And it should have a credible and complete instructor bio and profile pic. We've talked about this as well. Let's see what else. And then it breaks down each of these things. So audio quality, what does that mean? Video quality, what does that mean? Delivery quality, what does that mean? They don't mean in like download. They mean like your delivery. Like I'm delivering this talk right now. How is my delivery? Am I speaking clear? Am I enunciating? Is it easy to understand me? That's my delivery, right? The video quality is just, it reiterates, should be 720 or 1080p with a 16.9 aspect ratio. That's important. You're going to do that in your editing software. Clear, not blurry. That's sort of obvious. Steady, not shaky. Well framed and zoomed. Well lit, free of distractions. It's just saying it should look good, right? We know this already. Audio should have no background noises or hums. Usually comes from electronics, appliances, environmental noise, mic setup issues. Little to no echo. This is important. We've talked about this. I had to redo my recording studio and put sound foam on the wall because I was getting an echo for a while. I've talked about this in previous episodes. You can look it up if you're interested. No distracting popping sounds on the P. They're saying here your microphone should have a pop filter. I've talked about those. It's a little filter that goes around the mic that filters out those P sounds when you say things like popping and playing, right? It should have adequate bass volume that comes out of both headphone buds. I talked about this actually yesterday when I talked about my OBS open broadcast software and how I add bass to my voice with a plugin. There you go. Finally, the learning experience. So this is just suggestions. So Udemy suggests that your videos be 2 to 5 minutes, at least for the introductory video. And then they want you to challenge them with a quick win action within the first 3 lectures. I don't generally do that. You share useful content early. I do that. And that's something I had to sort of learn to do. Especially with programming languages, you spend a lot of time setting up the programming language, downloading all the tools, and that can distract from actually learning the thing. If you spend 15, 20 minutes downloading and installing a thing, people are going to lose interest. And I had to learn that and sort of switch my delivery based on that. Each section has a clear goal or primary skill. Each lecture has one main concept. I can't agree with that more. It is so important that each of your videos be just about one thing. People don't do that. They have 15, 20-minute long videos. No, your videos should be short, to the point, and about one thing and one thing only. Each section has at least one learning activity. Okay. Learning lectures are between 2 and 6 minutes in length. Right there. People don't believe me when I tell them Udemy suggests short videos. Right there. 2 to 6 minutes in length. You think 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You start getting into 5 or 6 minutes, people lose interest. Lecture formats vary throughout the course. Now, I don't do this. All my lectures are the same. It's a screencast with me with the talking head, just like this video here, and I do stuff right here. That's the lecture format. I don't vary it at all. Relate to the instructor. Talking head lectures build rapport. Okay, that's good. They're harder to create, talking head videos, but they are better. They help you connect with your student better. And easy to find resources. Okay. Finally, let's see. We got a couple more things here. The marketing. What skills? This is talking about the landing page, really. You want to tell your students what skills they'll learn in your new course. You want to know who your course is made for and speak to that person, right? Very important in any kind of marketing. What kind of experience you'll provide. The promo video should tell what's in store for your course. It's a good value for the money. What key lectures will cover. Whatever. Finally, there's some more resources down here at the bottom. The support center. You can do a test video. Udemy Insights. The Teach Hub. I'm not sure what that is. And the Instructor Dashboard. We already know what that is. So like I said, I'll link to this in the description below this video. It's at, you can see right here, s3.amazon AWS /Udemy images /support course plus quality plus checklist plus en.pdf. That's a mouthful. You just click the link below to download this. It's good to, until you memorize all of these things, just take a quick look at this before you create a new course. Make sure you're hitting all the check marks here, and should be good. So that's it for today's report. If you like this episode, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out CourseTherapy.com for more tips, tricks, and online course awesomeness. My name is John Elder from CourseTherapy.com. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.